I'm glad you sent me the snap this morning. Otherwise, I would have wore a hoodie and probably a hat.
Yeah, I was thinking like, I want to make sure that you wear like a suit because I was like, I'm gonna wear a suit, so fuck it. We'll look a bit overdressed if you're not wearing one as well.
Right. I could have wore the birthday suit, I guess. Right.
Yeah, it's true. This is true. But it is your birthday, bro. Happy birthday, dude. Happy birthday.
Very much means a lot. I don't feel any different, but
yeah, the big 4-0, eh?
Yeah, so we were sitting last night, and I mean, everything we did last night, Ashley's like, this is your last dinner in your 30s. This is your last, this is your last joint you're going to smoke in your 30s. And I'm just like, God, man. Like, she really likes to pound at home there.
Yeah, I love that.
I am having Jameson in my coffee here, so.
Oh, that's how I have my coffee every day.
8 a.m. on a Thursday, but luckily I kept the rest of the week clean. So
yeah, 100%. But
it's not.
Yeah. Crackpot's disappointed because you're not in your birthday suit, but it is what it is.
Only fans is where you'll get that Crackpot.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, JT's here. Let's go. Big JT in the chat. One of your biggest fans, I reckon.
There's my man.
Yeah, that's him. Damn, you're out here looking 30. Oh, Blitty's giving you the gas.
Appreciate that, Blitty. Thanks, brother.
Oh, well, look, man, I was the same. Like, when I turned 30, I was like, I feel the same as 5 years ago. I feel the same as 10 years ago. Like, it's the same.
I mean, and since in my 30s probably were, the best years of my life. I mean, I got into my house where I'm at. I got into my new career where I'm at. Obviously I met Ashley, we got Jackson, all those things happened in my 30s, and I'm super thankful for all of them, and they're definitely the best things in my life to this point.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Dude, like, this is the first time we've actually like spoken face to face. You realize that, right?
I know, it's crazy. I'm trying to look at the screen to talk to you face to face, but my good this way, so yeah. I gotta...
Exactly. I love it though, bro. Like, it's just so funny, like how we've spoken to each other literally every day for like how long? Like a year or some shit. It seems like forever.
Yeah, I think half a year, maybe 6 months.
Yeah, and then like and we never actually spoke face to face. We speak all the time. It's really funny. I'm like, it's weird.
Getting all this gas. Oh, Map wants the dog. Yeah, he's actually sitting right here next to me. I think he wants to say hello.
Oh, we need a Rav dog reveal. This is good. he's very big dog. Yeah, let's go.
He's a lot to handle.
Yeah, big dog.
He hears someone talking to me, so he wants to be in the mix,
Yeah,
yes.
100%.
Big floof, Blitty.
So
he thinks he's about 10 pounds, but he's 110.
What'd you get for your birthday?
Well, I mean, nothing really yet. I guess I got some present. I'm not allowed to go into the third bedroom because apparently there's a whole ensemble set up for me. But she left me with a couple, scratch off lottery tickets and a nice little card reminding me of my age.
Yeah, it's a good wife.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not really much on presents. I have everything I need. Anything I want, I usually just get it, for myself. I'm sure there'll be some things in store. We're going out to dinner tonight. Just meeting up with a lot of different friends over the weekend, and I got a fantasy football draft on Sunday, so we're definitely going to pack next couple days up.
Madness. Oh, he's the boy. Rav in the chat as well.
Hello.
And Wex, let's go. I love it. Yeah. Well, look, put it this way. Rav's the reason I met you, so there you go.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I was, I just happened to stumble upon Ravs Chat and really vibed, as soon as I got in there the first time, and, felt like a place where I wanted to hang out. And obviously I got a ton of love for him. And I've really enjoyed, supporting him and giving him as much love as I can. And obviously that's, where you and I kind of stumbled across each other and started to vibe out. And, from that, many other things have happened. So
Yeah, 100%, dude. Like, it was like every time I go to that chat, it is such a pleasure to be there, eh? Like, it's like my happy place. Like, if I don't know where to go, it's Ravs Chat. Do you know what I mean?
right,
Yeah.
right.
Because I get to go, and a lot of the people in this chat right now are here because of Rav's channel as well. Like, like Toko and Thawas and all those guys as well. Like, I wouldn't have met any of those people if it wasn't for Rav.
No, I agree 100%.
It's so good. I hope you're all good, by the way, Rav. I heard the bad news, and I hope everything's all right. Our condolences go out to you and your family, bro, as well. And hopefully you get back on the Twitch soon and we can see your handsome face. But also, the funny part about all of things in Twitch is that the kind of communities you create, like, when you don't even need to leave your house. It's crazy. Like, I've met more people on Twitch that I respect and that I share love to than anyone I've met in real life. Like, it's crazy. Do you find that as well?
No, I agree totally. I mean, obviously, I have a lot of, key people in my life that have, influenced me positively and kind of pointed me in the right direction. Because believe it or not, over the last 20 years, I've had some challenges and some ups and downs and things like that. But, Twitch was a whole different thing for me. I mean, I started working from home and, instead of watching TV, I was just popping on, people's streams and watching them play games while I worked and, did what I needed to do at home. And then, I started to stumble upon, some of the smaller, communities, so to speak, as opposed to the big streamers.
Mm-hmm.
And, just felt a whole, another sense of kind of friendship and knowing people and, supporting people. And, it's led to multiple people here who I really enjoy to watch and support. And, I'm just really thankful to have that. It definitely helps me get through my day. And believe it or not, it helps me stay focused on my work because, I have something that's here keeping me in my office, as opposed to running around the house or doing this or doing that. And I really stay locked in on the tasks that I have to do, here, at my home office, believe it or not.
100%. I agree.
Makes the day, fun too. And, it entertains me a bit and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. For me, it's like before I found Twitch, it was always podcasts that helped me with my work because I can't necessarily have Twitch up while I'm working on a car. It's kind of really difficult to do so.
Right.
So but I'd always have something in my ears. So I'd be listening to like a podcast or a news program or whatever I was listening to at the time, a book or something like that. And then then I found Twitch, and now I'm like trying to do both. It's like really hard. You like have it on the wall, like trying to like work on the car. You're like trying to look either way. You got the headset in, like but it's not always the best way to do it, but it's still I can't help myself. I have to make sure I tune in to everyone. You know what I mean? Like.
No, I totally agree. I mean, I have my few that I'm tabbed up with all day while they're streaming the whole time, and then I have other people, who I just like to pop in and watch play for a little bit each night. Some of the bigger people as well. But it's incredible to me how much I'm in this office and how much time I spend, bouncing around back and forth to everybody because it's just a fun time, and all the communities are so great, and the three of the best ones are right here. You and Rav and JT are just three places I really enjoy being, and three people I really love supporting, and three people I appreciate to have as friends.
Big gas, dude. I appreciate that. It's crazy how like when I rated JT and you were like instantly like in love with him. It was like, oh my god, this channel, bro. Like it was just like, and like I just love that I could like bring you two together. Like that's amazing to me. Like I'm sure you would have found him either way because I mean Blitty's rated him a few times. Like a couple of the other boys that you guys watch as well. Like I'm sure you would have found him eventually. But I love that. Like literally within a week you're a mod. Like that's insane.
No, I know, and pretty much everyone that we've in your channel that we've went and showed love to or rated. I've always had so much fun with that, and those have always been great people.
Yeah.
You know, people I'm excited to continue to watch and, you know, continue to support. And but yeah, sometimes, you know, you just know, like, you know, when I first stumbled upon Rav, and you know, when you took me into JT's stream, you know, obviously JT's accent could hook you right off the bat. You
Yeah, I know,
what I mean?
right?
I mean, honestly, it was the vibes. It wasn't just him. You know, it was his community. It's your community. It's Rav's community. It's not just you guys. You know what I mean? It's the people that follow you and support you, and the environment that's created in your chat. I mean, that's what makes people, you know, want to a degree want to stay, and you know, and be a part of something, because they see how great it is when they come in, and then, you know, they have that sense and that feeling that they want to be a part of that too. And, you know, and eventually it's just going to keep growing and growing.
Well, well, the sense of this channel for me has always been like community first. Like, you know, that's why I give us the title, you know, the Zilla patch. That's why I want everyone to be included, and I want everyone to enjoy themselves. That's why we don't get a lot of hate. We don't get a lot of, you know, miscommunication here. Everyone just comes in here because they know that each person is the same. Do you know what I mean? Like, each person in here is going to respect and appreciate each other. They're all going to give each other that love. You know what I mean? And it's such a lovely thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love it. Hey, except Joshy. Joshy hates me. No, but I love it, dude. Like, that's why we take all of the people in here to other people's channels who I love watching. I might not have introduced them to that channel yet, or, you know, I might have discovered that channel earlier. I rarely raid randomly. Do you know what I mean? Like, I always try to raid the people I love to give love back to, who have given love to me, you know? And sometimes I'll do a random raid, and sometimes we find other people's channels that are also the same. And it could be like completely coincidental. Like, the one time we did a raid, we found, you know, kind of rad, Alex's channel. We found Alex's channel, and that brought us Moon, you know, and that brought us all those other lovely people in her chat. And then we randomly raided a couple of other people. It would be what's his name, Sig in her channel. Found Sig in her channel. We found when I found Rav through Headache's channel. Like, I didn't know Rav before I was in that chat. Do you know what I mean? So then I found Rav there. I was watching Rav play with him a bit. And then after all that, that's history, right? Like, you know, I still go into all those channels still today. Like, you know, it's fucking insane.
Yeah, and the craziest thing about it too is that these are people all over the world. I mean, these aren't just people in your town. No. You know, I listen. I have a hard enough time getting 5 of my best friends who live within a half hour of me to go do something together. You have the ability to get 20, 30, 40 people from all over the world, not even in real life, to go and, you know, show love to somebody and support somebody. And, you know, it's just amazing to me, like the how that all works, you know? Exactly.
Crackpot wants to know, do you have a black or brown belt and shoes on?
I have a brown belt. No shoes on.
There you go.
But if I had shoes on, they'd be brown. They'd probably match the belt I have. Is that okay with you, Crackpot?
Yeah. Nice socks though. Oh, love that. Sorry.
Almost didn't put pants on. I was just gonna, you know, wear the top half, but I figured I'd, you know, be showing the dog, and you know, there we have a question that would have led me to have to stand up. So
no, 100%. Hey, Brooke's here. Let's go. Welcome in. Literally met Brooke in Holty's channel like 2 hours ago. So that's a vibe. Love that. Guys, I've got to ask. You always talk a lot about how, you know, you're working and your family life and all that kind of stuff. Can you tell us a bit more about what you do for work and stuff? Because I don't think a lot of people really know what you do. I think they just know that you love your job.
Right. Yeah. It's not an everyday type thing that people do. There's not a lot of, you know, people that do kind of what I'm doing. You know, there's insurance agents, obviously, you know, for your, you know, for people for your car insurance or your homeowner's insurance or your renter's insurance. And that's more of a common type insurance agent. I work in commercial insurance. So what I do basically is I go into a business and I analyze all of the insurance that they currently have in place. review it and see if I can make any suggestions to add to it, or, let them know if they're being overinsured per se. And then what I do is I take all their information and I go to all the carriers that I work with, and request quotes. And then I get quotes in from all of my 30, 40, 50 carriers. And then I use those numbers against one another to try to find the lowest price. That way I can go back to the client, with the same coverages that they have now to protect their business, and try to offer them a 10 to 15% reduction in costs, to get them to, join our agency and be represented by us. And after that, it's basically just, what I do is when I gain a client, I then, have to do a lot of service work for them. A lot of times they are buying new vehicles, selling vehicles, adding new employees. Sometimes they need, certificates of insurance, mailed out to general contractors that they're doing jobs for, or people that they're going into some sort of an agreement with. And then, after their year policy is up, I do a lot of work, revisiting all of my carriers to try to make sure I'm keeping their premiums and their price that they pay, the lowest possible. And I've been doing it for 6 years now. And I've been told, and I like to think that I've done pretty good in that time, and I've built a really great customer base. And I've actually only ever lost 2 clients to someone physically, beating my price. But that's something I'm really proud of, that I've had a lot of retainment, and I've been able to, the majority of my customers. And I feel that I'm able to do that because, I try to look at it a little differently. Most guys are just going in and trying to, sell the insurance product and sell it at a cheaper price, or maybe even try to throw the current agent under the bus to make the client, try to break that relationship. But I come from hospitality. So I worked in a very high-end country club for, about 10 years, where we really focused on the member or the guest's enjoyment and experience the whole way. So I really tried to take a lot of, how I approached hospitality and apply it to insurance, because I'm going in and selling the same exact product as every Tom, Dick, and Harry that's coming into their office. So what's going to differentiate me from, John Q insurance agent? Well, I'm going to try to just apply some sort of sense of hospitality to it. I'm going to make them feel comfortable with me. I'm going to make them understand that, they don't have to do as much as they did with their past agent. I'm going to handle, more things for them than that agent did. Basically just trying to anticipate their needs, say yes to their questions before they even ask them, and really just stay one step ahead of the client, and with making them feel comfortable and secure and trusted. And it's really seemed to work out well for me.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, when it comes to that kind of side of business and that kind of thing, like for me, obviously I work with customers as well, but that's totally like different world to me that you're doing right there. And you can see in your face, and the passion that you speak of, and that you love your job, and that's what matters the most, right? Because if you don't love what you do, you won't do it correctly, or you won't give your all to it. You know what I mean? So you see a lot of people. Yeah, go on.
I do. I don't, and it's not necessarily that I love the technical aspects of my job, right? It's not like I necessarily enjoy, typing up these 12-page applications with all of the prospects on. It's not like I enjoy emailing back and forth with 60 underwriters every single day. What I enjoy is I enjoy my clients, and I enjoy the sense of trust and comfortability and protection that I can provide to them. And my biggest thing is I see my biggest victory every year when my clients tell me, hey, 3 different insurance agents called me and asked if we could, let them quote our insurance. But we told them no, because we're super happy with you and we trust that you are keeping us in the right place. And that is what I love right there. I mean, not getting the client. It's not, them just saying, hey, thanks for doing this or providing them the lowest price. It's them telling me they don't even want to entertain going anywhere else.
Yeah, that's awesome. And like, that's the, again, the best way that I can describe my relation to that, and like the way I understand what you're saying there, is the fact that, like, same with my customers, like the customers that I bring in, the reason that the customers come back is the same reason that they come in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, because right. they trust you with their, I do really expensive cars. Like, I service like high-end R8s and stuff. Like, they come in and they trust you with their $300,000-$400,000 car. And you go in and to their house and you fix their car in front of them while they talk to you for pretty much the entire time. A lot of the times, it's just like, for me, it's like, you know how most mechanics are like, if you watch, it costs more. You know what I mean? That's in a workshop. I understand that, but I'm going to someone's house and I'm with them and I'm describing things to them. And one of the passions of my job is describing technical aspects of a car to someone who knows nothing about cars and then understanding what I'm talking about. That's the thing that I love to do. Like, I'll try to describe how an engine is put together and why the bolts are here and why this is that and the other in layman's terms or in technical terms, however they would like me to describe them, in order to just literally share my passion with them and them understand it and appreciate it. And then that gives them a sense of trust with me, because they know what I'm doing. Like, they know that I know what I'm doing, and then their car runs perfectly and they go, wow, this guy's really good. We're going to get him back. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And like, the customer retention rate is really high. And even now, during this whole lockdown scenario that we're in, and this pandemic, and I can't do my job as well, like, or in a very, very limited capacity, the customers are still waiting. Like, they're not going elsewhere. They're just sitting around waiting, because they're like, you know what? I'm just gonna chill. Like, whenever this finishes, it finishes, and then we'll call you in. And you can do it after that. Like, and everyone's really understanding. I'm not doing like your 1997 Corolla oil change. You know what I mean? Like, it's you can go anywhere. It's all technical stuff.
Sure. Yeah. And I mean, and I know how it is in the US. I mean, that industry with, our auto repair and even auto sales is just so competitive, because there's always someone right around the corner that's doing the same thing. There's always a dealership right down the road that, selling a car. And, I got plenty of friends in that area. So I hear about it. I have a lot of clients in that area too. So I hear the struggles and I hear the victories all the time from them.
That's sure. Why you got to have a niche in that market. You can't, you can't just be a grease and oil changer. You have to have a niche. It has to be something weird and random. And so that's why I've always got a niche in something different. So it's always like specializing in servicing or repairs for like high-end cars, or vice versa for specific brands. So I do mostly like the Audi, Volkswagen sort of brands. So like that's it sets you above the other people, especially in a mobile industry. Have you can you hear me?
Yeah, I thought I lost you there for a second.
Oh, you're all good. You're all good. Technical difficulties are just part of the fun. You know that, right?
Right. Yeah. Or starting this whole thing off, that's what I was kind of concerned about. So
yeah. That's all good. Crackpot wants me to know if I can service him. Look, I'll give it a go. As long as you come with a sun plug, mate, I'm sure I can help you out there. Matt would like to know if we can tag team service her. Look, we give it a whirl for sure. We'll see how we go. Nadez wants to know what age you lost your virginity at. You can answer that or not. It's up to you.
Now, so that would have been 22 years ago.
Crazy. Yeah. And also I want to say to Brooke, thank you so much, Brooke, for the subscription at tier 1. I appreciate it. The alerts are just turned off for the interview, but as soon as we finish up, I'll play that for you. And thank you so much for literally coming in and subscribing straight away. That's a vibe. I love that.
That is a vibe. We like to see.
Yeah. Rugged, does he know Azza? He does. You do know Angry Arab, don't you?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've spent a good bit of time in there. Another circumstance, I stumbled upon him because of Rav raiding him one day, and it happened to be the day that Angry got the Symphony raid, and I was in there. Symphony raid happened, and and he started, doing all his things that he does to entertain his chat and his community. And immediately, I said, this is a guy that I like to, watch and hang out with. And I do pop in there from time to time and say what's up to him, and obviously see him in everybody else's chat. But yeah, definitely, Angry, love Angry, great guy, a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I still can't quite get used to his new name. Like it's thrown me.
I thought I saw it on my emotes, and I said, wait, was I gifted a sub from somebody that I don't know? And then once he must have changed his name.
yeah, 100%. It's just really weird, isn't it? Like, I don't know why he did it, but I'm sure he'll tell us at on some stage.
Right.
Yeah. Hi is in the chat. Let's go. One of our friends.
Absolutely. A few games together.
Yeah, such a legend. Over your neck of the woods, I believe.
Yeah, he's a little south of me in the Carolinas, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, nearby somewhat.
Yeah, exactly. Crackpot wants to know how you wipe your ass.
Just the same way he does.
Oh, some shit going on in this chat. I love it. Regardless of all the exciting questions that the chat has for you, I've got to say too, what brought you to Twitch in the first place? Like, why did you start watching? Like, was it just something randomly you started doing? I know I feel like we've touched on it a little bit, but I just want to know how. Like, I love to know how people just decided to start watching Twitch. Like, what led you to that?
So I, started working from home, and like I said, I would always have, I would always just put my TV service up on one of my monitors on my computer and just kind of watch TV. And then, I haven't been, into gaming all that much. I mean, I used to only play just, sports games and things like that, but I've never really been into like shooter games until, Fortnite came out, years ago, and started playing that. And then, when I was bored, working at home, waiting for, things to do or things to come in, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos of kind of the pro gamers, and just watching clips of their gaming, and things like that. And, because I enjoyed the games and I was starting to get into those games. And, then I recognized that some of these big guys like Nick Merckx and Tim the Tatman had a Twitch, and, I would pop in there and just watch them play.
Yeah.
And, just kind of bounce back and forth, watching some of the people with the, the most viewers and things like that. And it was strictly just to, I had no idea how I even felt about Twitch. It was just a platform that, hey, let's watch somebody, that's really good at, playing this particular game. Just as you would watch, your favorite athlete play football or baseball or whatever. Right. And then, from being in those big channels and then kind of, stumbling upon smaller guys, and, going into their channels and getting, to be a part of those communities, it really kind of changed it for me. And I said, hey, I really like to, be a part of these smaller communities where everybody's knowing each other, the streamers interacting with the chat. And then, I started showing a little bit of support, and that really just brought me a lot of joy to be able to support people who have a dream to become, or, have a large platform like the people that first brought me into Twitch. So it gave me a lot of joy and a lot of happiness to start to support those people. And, that's just kind of like where I'm at today. I just really kind of stick within the same 5 or 6 channels and show my love and support and do what I can to, help those people and their communities and, mainly just be a part of them.
Yeah, I totally understand that. And like with all gamers, we always are trying to find a place to go. You know what I mean? There was always a problem because it was never, before Twitch, there was a few places we could like congregate if we wanted to talk to other gamers, but it was super different to what it is now. Like before it was kind of like really like, primitive in a way, because a lot of people didn't really want to take part in it because a lot of gamers are real introverted people. Like they're not really, not every gamer is like your outspoken, advertising campaign man like Tim the Tatman would be. You know what I mean? Like he's, people people are either like that or they're not. And a lot of gamers I find are people who stay in the house, they play their video game and they enjoy escaping to the world of the video game they love to play. And they don't really particularly need to like go and interact with people on it, because that's the way they are. But now with Twitch, it's kind of opened up a whole new avenue for people who are gamers to interact with other people who are exactly the same. And that's why it's so important that we keep this platform together. I mean, at the moment, it seems like it's just falling apart. But I mean, there could be an avenue or an opening for another company to take everyone away, or they could improve the platform. So I mean, it's up to them, really, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, much like with a number of things, COD even too for instance, it's up to them to fix it. I mean, they're obviously losing a lot of players and losing a lot of the people that built them to get where they're at, and it's up to them to fix it and fix things with the cheaters and some of the bugs and things like that. And it's just confusing why they can't do it, because there's obviously a lot of money being made from every angle, for both for Activision, for Twitch, for whomever. So it really should be dedicated to the user experience, because the users are how they got where they're at.
Yeah, exactly. And I think with that, like touching on that a little bit with the whole Activision issues and all that kind of stuff, that the company itself, the problem is that they haven't had any competition in 4 years, right? When it comes to this game, so there hasn't been a decent shooter prior or like post Modern Warfare that could compete on the scale that Call of Duty makes. Do you know what I mean? So that's why regardless of all the problems and all the issues and the hackers and all whatever and all the stuff that they've had, the reason they have done nothing, because they don't need to.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it's the same reason why they reskin all the gulags. It's the same reason why they reskin the main map and didn't produce a new one. It's the same reason why they may or may not allegedly sell hacks to people so they can buy them back again. It depends. It depends how you go about it. It's all about the money. That's why they bring out a new game that's trash every year and people still buy it, because it's a Call of Duty game. Right. And they don't need to do that. They could just build on the game that they have right now, but they want to bring out a new game because you know what? That means more console players need to buy it. And that means more people on PC have to buy it. And that means more people will come in and try and break it. And it's a whole big thing. Whereas like if we had a competitive market, say like, in the car market, again, like, Audi, BMW, right? Both very good cars, both competing markets in the same field. That's why every single time you see a new car release, the other car company releases the same model car in a different way. You know what I mean? So if Audi produces an SUV, a 5-seater SUV, BMW produces a 5-seater SUV within the 6 months period. Like, you have to compete with each other, and if they don't compete with each other, the value of this one goes up and this one has no value. But if you bring this one up, you can compete, right? And they have to bring their price down. With Call of Duty, they're sitting up here all the time because no one's going to bother to try and compete with them. So they're just like, well, fuck it, we'll just stay here because we're happy here, because we're making money. We don't give a fuck about what's going on underneath us. So like, if that continues to happen, then why bother, right? So here's the hope that Battlefield makes a difference, that Halo makes a difference. We need a new game. I need a new game. I'm not playing it anymore because I'm fucking over it. I need a new game. Fortnite's my game right now because I enjoy it more because it's not so fucking bullshit. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. No, I mean, I totally agree. There's no competition. There's no reason for the person at the top to try any harder. If you're, if in the Olympics, if they're running an 800-meter race and after 400 meters, you have such a length as the leader, you're not going to run as hard as you need to if someone's right on your heels, right? So it's the same thing. You got to have a little competition for them to want to do anything more and to spend any more money to, to make the platform how it should be for the user.
Yeah, I agree. And what CDs and Moons and Crackpot are saying right now is about YouTube, is that YouTube's now producing their streaming service. All right, it's going to be real buggy. It's going to be real weird. It's not going to be like what we're used to. But I feel Twitch needed competition in order to change a little bit, because it's just at the moment it's all about the platform and not about the user, and we understand that because even with the monetizing part aspect of it, like. The little amount of money that people are paid as affiliate streamers is beyond ridiculous. Like, taking 70% of someone's of someone's subscription and giving it to someone and giving it to the company, and then you're literally just like, oh, okay, why bother then? And a lot of affiliate streamers will give up because not everyone will have 50, 60, 70 viewers. Like they might have 5, they might get 10 subscriptions a week or 10 subscriptions a month. Well, like unless they're doing it just because they love it, what's the point? They're not going to do it as a job, are they?
No.
And it's just, you need more incentives for people. Like,
right.
And YouTube, like CDs is saying, YouTube is going to give incentive because you have more exposure to bigger channels, and that is going to improve your viewership. That's going to make people feel better because you get more viewers. It makes you feel better, right? Like you don't feel good when you're streaming to one person. Like it's not exactly like uplifting in an aspect if you're really wanting to like see and be able to talk to chat. Like quiet chat can sometimes be like the death knell for some streamers, right? Because they're like, especially if you're playing a game that doesn't involve a lot of concentration, it's kind of like, someone say hello to me, like, you know what I mean? Like, but if you're playing a game like Warzone and you have 50 people talking at you and you can't read the chat, like that's still a vibe as well, like, but it's always better to have more people in chat. That's why for me, like, I feel super privileged that I can come in here and just do a just chatting stream and I can have all these people talking. That makes me feel really happy. Like the fact that we're able to create that is just a vibe. Like I could not play a game again and just sit here and chat every stream, and I reckon we'd still have the same amount of viewers. It wouldn't matter. Do you know what I mean?
Right. No, I agree totally. Well, I mean, that's your viewers know what you're about and what you're doing, and that's why we're here. Is we like being a part of that, and we like that sense of community where everyone's talking and everyone's back and forth with each other and back and forth with you, and it's just a nice feeling for sure. It has to be even a better feeling for you to be able to orchestrate that and kind of conduct, that whole atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, and again, the reason that I have all these legends in here is because other channels that we've been a part of as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, I there's no way I could do this by myself. It's a community effort, like 100%.
No, I agree totally.
Yeah. Dude, so there's been a couple of real funny moments for me. Like, whenever we're in Ravs Chat and we just start like just spitting random shit. Like some of the stuff that we've come up with on there has been like the funniest stuff I've ever experienced. Like I don't know where Thawaz is. I don't know whether he's in the chat or not, but the guy, every single time he starts talking in the chat with you and me, we just like, I don't know what happens. Shit just takes over, doesn't it? Like
oh my god,
it's so good.
Definitely does. And him and I talk throughout the day, most days as well, and DMs and whatnot. And we even do, a bit of gaming together, which is crazy. I'm like now playing games with people who I've met and become friends with, in people's chat. And it's grown more than that. Now there's, a whole group of us. I mean, even, and Sweet Sauce and Toko and Liddy and Cole and everybody. I mean, I've just gotten to be able to game with people a year ago I never even knew existed. And so it's a lot of fun.
100%. It's like, it's just the love right now. Like for me, I honestly, I do this every single day because I love it. I fucking love it. I have so much fun. I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'd hate for that to be ruined by like, whatever it might be like on the internet. I just find that, this is the reason I stayed off Twitter for so long. Because I just found it was really toxic, and I was just like, I'm not going to get involved with it. But then Laura went and made me an account, and she went and made me one for me and was like, hey, you're on Twitter now. I'm like, God damn it. Because she kept saying, she's like, I keep trying to at you for stuff and tag you in things. And Rav is the same. Rav's like, I at you every single time and I can't at you for anything. And he added me for the first time the other day, and he was like, oh, that's Adzy. And he's just like, right. I just do it because I feel like Twitter now is like a community in itself for gaming. Like it's the way people communicate with each other, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it definitely is. I don't really use it much for me. Obviously I connect with the streamers I watch on there now and some people that I've met in those communities on there now. But I mean, really, the only reason I've ever used it in the last 5 to 8 years is I use it for sporting news. Really, I'll go in, especially with like fantasy football. If I have players in a game that maybe I see get injured in the game. I use Twitter to constantly look in there and update and see the status of that guy. And it's very helpful because a lot of the guys that are on the sideline reporting in games or, they're live tweeting what's going on, and you can kind of keep up with it in that sense. But yeah, really for sporting news is really the only reason I ever used it. Yeah, I've just never really found a need. Now more so, a little more communicating and connecting with, you guys and, people that stream and the people that I've met in the gaming community. But yeah, I've never really been a big user of it.
Yeah, fair.
Because again, it is a terrible place, but if you can take it for, you can find some entertainment out of it. Now a lot of the music I'm into, a lot of the producers and DJs use Twitter as their platform for announcements and communicating as well. So I have gotten to use it a little bit more lately, but yeah, I'm not the hugest social media person. I do use Instagram. I do post pictures from time to time, but I really just go on there and scroll and use it for entertainment.
Yeah, fair. I just wanted to say a couple things in the chat. Son of Neptune, thank you so much for stopping by. I stopped by his channel again today. He's an absolute vibe, that guy. I love it, dude. He's Hassan the legend. Yeah, and CDs. I have looked into Hover. One of my friends, Crow Gaming. You might know him. He's on Twitch as well. He's been showing me it, and then we've been having a look at it. It's sort of like gaming TikTok. I guess you would describe it as. It looks like something that could take off, but I don't know whether the traction is there right this second. But I think it will take off in the future. It depends which platforms try to compete with it and who wants to buy it, I guess. That's how that's gonna work. With the fantasy football, I have questions because I am an NFL fan as well, and I have played fantasy football. I played 3 seasons of fantasy football, probably maybe 2 or 3 years ago. We did 3 seasons in a row. And I loved it. It was great, but it took up so much of my time that it got to the point where I had to stop. I had to stop playing because I was my whole day was consumed by it. Whether it be stats, whether it be having to check the Tuesday team or whatever it might be. I had to do everything before anyone else did because I was trying to compete with all my mates. It was 20 of us or whatever it might be, and it was just it was so much fun, but honestly, it was so fucking draining.
It is, and it's emotionally draining too. And I mean, the NFL is my favorite sport, and I do like to bet on it a little bit. Each games individually, and then we have fantasy football, and I'm in 3 different leagues, right? So I'm in a league with all my college friends, and this year actually the 20th season of our league. And that one's a little bit big money because obviously we've been doing it 20 years. We're all in our late 30s, early 40s. So we've kind of progressed the buy-in each year. And then I'm in another small league just with a group of my close friends. But then the interesting league that I'm in, it's all my best friends. And what's really crazy about this fantasy football league is the punishment for losing. So,
oh God.
Yeah, so if you finish in dead last place at the end of the year, you are required to get a tattoo of the champion's choosing. So whoever wins the league chooses a tattoo for the person who loses the league, and the person who's getting the tattoo gets to choose the location on their body where they have it. So we've actually done this. We've done this punishment for 3 seasons now, and so there's been 3 tattoos. So I'm actually going to post them in the Discord so everyone can see how insane this is. So these are the 3 tattoos that the 3 losers have gotten, but I've sent them in there in the general on the Discord. So they're obviously not tattoos you're going to want anybody to see in any way. And you have to get the tattoo before the next season starts or you're not allowed in. It's that simple. We'll replace you. But it's been a lot of fun. So I definitely have to pay attention to that league because I have no tattoos and I don't intend to get, especially one of which that my friends is choosing for sure. So
no, that'd be a terrible idea. I love it though. We for our league we made up so it was like I think it was about $200 each. And like it wasn't a big buy-in. And then on draft day we would go to my mate, someone who would host draft day. So whoever was either the winner from the previous year would host draft day. We'd all go there. We'd do a big barbecue. We'd have beers, like we'd chat. We'd get everything, all our iPads out, get the TV on, and we'd select all our players live with everyone there. So that was how we did it, right? And then the winner at the end of the season would get obviously win all the cash for the season, but they'd also get a trophy, right? Right. We called it the Man Cave Tipping Comp, right? And so like it was a trophy of a guy with a football under his arm doing this, right? And it just have on the bottom, we get the person's name engraved on the bottom, and then they'd have to pass it back to us for the next season. And then the next person would get their name engraved on it, whoever won. And then the person who lost, we would always like have a wooden spoon, right? And they would have to pass the wooden spoon. So the person who won would hold the trophy for the year, and they'd hand it to the next winner. And the person with the wooden spoon would have to pass it to the next person. And instead of passing the wooden spoon, you have to smack the person on the ass with it. So it was just like it was very funny. It was very funny. We tried to incorporate different things into it. Like it was just really fun. And we also had like carryovers as well. So the next season you can carry over one player from the prior season, and vice versa. It was. And then the way we finished the season, we would have them pick, like we'd do the backdraft. So like whoever lost would pick first, and then vice versa like that. So we'd go in the order of the ladder in reverse for picks for first choice. So same as the league would do with teams, like for draft.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
We do it similarly. We actually pick our draft order in all three leagues are different. The one league we actually have we do a Cameo. You're familiar with Cameo, where you get celebrities to kind of send you messages. We have a different celebrity every year, just chooses our draft order in that league. In the other league, prior to the draft, when we all get together, we put out 24 cans of beer. So there's at least 2 cans of beer for every person in the league. And then every beer has a piece of paper taped to the bottom of it. And you have to just start chugging beers. And when you chug a beer and you rip open the bottom, if there's a number on it, that's your pick. If there's no number, then you got to chug another beer. So, we do it differently for every league. It's a lot of fun. We've tried to get a little creative with it because, you're doing the same thing every year as far as the fantasy football goes. So we try to make it interesting and think of something new to do. So
that's fucking awesome. I love that. So I guess the other question is for those who don't know much about fantasy football, do you want to explain a little bit? You don't have to go into details because I know like if we start going into details, we'll be here for like 10 hours. But if you want to explain just how it works, and also what your actual team is for NFL.
Right. So, with fantasy football, you take the NFL and you draft a team of players of all different positions from all different teams. And then each week you put in a starting lineup of, those players that you drafted. And based on their performances on the field, you score points. And then you're usually head to head versus someone else in your league. And it would be your players' points versus their players' points. And then whoever wins, obviously wins and goes 1-0, 2-0, whatever. And then at the end of the season, the top in the standings move on to the playoffs. And then when the playoffs are finished up, whoever wins the final game wins, all the money, some of the money. We definitely do the prize winning split up a little differently for each league that I'm in. But that's pretty much the gist of it. And as far as NFL goes, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. First and foremost, but I love football in general. So I'm just a big fan of the league, a big fan of a lot of different players. I do with a passion hate the Baltimore Ravens, and the New England Patriots. So other than that, I pretty much enjoy watching, anyone play. So
I share your passion for that.
yeah,
I'm an Indianapolis Colts fan. Yeah.
Colts probably hate the Patriots as well because it was, Tom Brady keeping Peyton Manning from, so many victories and things like that.
Correct. Yeah, the guy has been a thorn in everyone's side, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially like, I mean, for me, I started watching NFL in Peyton's last season. So
Okay.
when I started watching, I hadn't picked a team like in that season, but I was watching every other team because obviously being from Australia, I don't have roots anywhere in America. So I was like, I don't know which team I'm going to pick. I watched
Right.
every single game for that year. And then at the end of the season, I said, I'm going to be a Colts fan, not because Peyton Manning is one of the greatest players ever to live, but because he's leaving. And I want to see a team thrive with the players they have, because there was a lot of good players in that team. And when I saw Luck in the tryouts and stuff, I was like, this can go somewhere. Like, this is going to be a team I want to support for life. And look, you know how that ended. But
Yeah, that was unfortunate. He was a guy that obviously had a lot of promise, a lot of expectations. I don't know if he had the best time in dealing with that pressure of those expectations. On top of injuries. And I think it took a lot on his mental health, to be honest with you, to be able to have to retire that early in your career and at that age, especially for that position. That was probably really difficult for him, for sure.
yeah, well, it's going from the biggest high in your life to the lowest low in literally a day. Like,
Imagine, what dealing with that would be like.
no, exactly. And like for someone like say Brady or Rodgers or whatever it might be, the longevity of their careers is why they're so good and they're so successful.
Right.
A lot of the players in a lot of sports don't have that opportunity because of either injury, misfortune, whether it be money concerns, or whether it be like which team they were playing for at the time and they were drafted. It's difficult. Like, you got to have luck of the draw in sport as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same in rugby league. So I'm a big rugby league fan, right? In Australia, that's like my main sport. In that sense, like, some of the greatest players in our game are some of the players that never had any injuries, and they were able to reach all these milestones in their careers because they didn't have all the season-ending injuries a lot of players suffer.
Right.
Yeah, which so you gotta be lucky as well. It's ironic that his last name is Luck and he's unlucky, but I mean,
Yeah. But yeah, here where I live in Pittsburgh, I mean, the NFL and football is such a huge, huge deal. I mean, Pittsburghers are big sports fans in general. We have a lot of history here with our sports teams and, winning championships. Obviously, the Pirates are a Major League Baseball team that have won multiple World Series in the 70s. The Steelers were also winning Super Bowls in that time frame as well. So they kind of labeled us the city of champions. And then, in the early 90s, our hockey franchise started to win Stanley Cups. And there's just a tradition of winning around here that the people that live here take a great pride in. They take a lot of pride in supporting those teams. And I mean, the Steelers more so than anybody. I mean, on Sundays in NFL season, downtown and the North Shore where the Steelers Stadium is just absolutely crazy. It's one of the most fun atmospheres you can be in. It's a great time. You're definitely not leaving sober. Usually a fight breaks out somewhere, but it's all in good fun. It's just in sport, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun being a part of that and, kind of, growing up around here and living around here, my whole life.
Yeah, I feel that as well. Like, being someone who's really into sport since I was young. Like, my family were always into soccer. They're always big soccer fans. Like, but I wasn't really into soccer. Like, I played soccer as a kid. I was a referee for a long time. Like a semi-pro, I guess you would say. But that, for me, like, I was better at the rules than I was at the game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was more interesting to me that way. But when I was growing up, my grandfather was a massive rugby league fan, and like I would go to his house on the weekends, spend time with him. We'd have a beer, we'd watch the rugby league together, and that was our thing. You know, that and motorsport. Like we were really into our V8 supercars and our F1, all that kind of stuff. So that was the thing we did together. And so then I just became like really passionate about it, and I've just watched like I was the kind of person that would sit down and watch every single game on a weekend. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't have time to do that now. I just catch the games like that my team plays, but I understand the passion because like game day, if you're able to go, is just such like it's not as big as it is there, but you know it's just because the stadiums we have here are tiny in comparison because we don't have as many people.
Right.
But it was absolutely like my pleasure to go to a Lucas Oil Stadium game, like when I was in Indianapolis. Like that was I traveled to America just before COVID, and I went to Indianapolis Colts versus Oakland Raiders. We lost by 1 point, which was devastating. But at the same time, I got to go and experience what game day is like in America. And it was actually like the most fun I've had in one day. Like it was so great.
Yeah, the tailgating scene, I mean, just everybody's energy, it's just a whole next level. And every city's is just so unique and so different in how, you know, they celebrate that and how they prepare for game day and how they treat the NFL. But everyone has that same level of intensity. They just do it a lot different, you know. Here in Pittsburgh, I mean, we can just pretty much drink and, you know, hang out in the cold weather. Up in Buffalo, they, you know, throw each other on folding tables and smack each other upside the head with them. You know what I mean? It's all different. You know what I mean? Everyone does it different. It's just an interesting sport to watch and, you know, to be a fan of for sure.
That's crazy. I love that. I think
like that we're having a little sports talk here. I obviously had no idea what we were even going to discuss today or what you had in mind. So I like that we're getting into a little.
The thing with the podcast, right? And the way a podcast should be, it should literally just be discussing the things that you love with someone you want to talk about too, and someone who's interesting. Like you don't ever want to bring someone on who you don't want to talk to. Like for me, it's like. Sure. Every single person I have on this podcast, I just want to learn more about them, and I want to show the chat more about that person. So when you come into the chat next, everyone knows a little bit more about you. So like now they know you like sport, now they know about your job, now they know about all these kind of things that make you happy, and then they might be able to relate to that. And that's what podcasting should be all about. It shouldn't be like written questions and like you know, I don't write anything down. I don't prep anything ever. Okay, I just take what I know about that person and I just expand on it because I want to know more about you as well. That's the point. Like it's helped me as well. Like, I'm not just doing it for their benefit. I'm doing it for mine as well. Like I would like to know the Bob. Like you know.
Yeah, no, I was expecting a little rundown of from you of like what we're gonna, you know, hey, we're gonna talk about this, and then you know when I didn't, I said, you know what, I like that. It'll be better for Adsy and I just to kind of shoot it off from the hip. So
yeah, no, I don't do that with anyone. I literally like I've had the questions every time I have a guest on, and like they talk to me prior. They go, so what are we going to talk about? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Let's just see how it goes. Like I have no plan whatsoever.
I fucking love that.
Yeah. Speaking of no plan whatsoever, I'm actually going to ask you another question about music. So like
sure.
The other thing I think that I connected with you on, and the thing we like, you know, I love how you like send me Snapchats, all that kind of stuff. We both are big fans of music, like whether it be you know EDM, dance, heavy metal, whatever it might be. Dude, I it's one of those things. Like me and Blitty vibed so hard when we chatted about it. Like we had a real common ground on that, and I want to kind of get a bit of a background on, you know, what kind of music you love, like about the festivals you've gone to, and maybe some cool stories you can tell us.
Yeah, no, and that's funny you mentioned Blitty because him and I have vibed so much with music ever since I've learned, you know, that he makes music and is a producer. And, you know, we've sent each other tons of stuff on Instagram and kind of talk about different producers that we like and things like that. But yeah, I mean, most of my life, I really wasn't into music all that much. My entire life, I was a competitive swimmer. So I pretty much, from the time I was, you know, a little kid, was always at swim practice. Once I started to get older, I had multiple swim practices a day. So obviously swimming's not a sport where you're listening to music, you know, as you're, you know, working out and things like that. But, you know, once I got to college and, you know, I started getting into, you know, hip hop and rap music a little bit. But back in 2015, a friend of mine, asked me if I wanted to go, you know, to this rave. And I I was like, I don't know if that's for me. I don't know if I'm into that, electronic music. Or at the time, it was pretty much all called techno back in, when I was 18, 19, 20 years old. But yeah, my friend influenced me to go. I was very hesitant to go to this particular show. It was a duo called the Chainsmokers, which I'm sure a lot of people have heard of because now they're very, very big. But I went, and skeptical as I was, I tried to have an open mind, and I just had the greatest time ever. I don't know if it was the group of people I was with or where we were at, or, just the whole vibe in general, but I loved it. And literally right after that show, we started planning the next show we could go to, and the next and the next. And then we started traveling, 4 hours to Washington, D.C. to see some bigger acts. And then, I just kind of got into the whole scene and the whole community. And then I started going to festivals and camping festivals. And that just kind of, opened my eyes up to a whole nother world and a whole nother community. But I've seen almost in the electronic music field, I've seen pretty much everyone there is to see, whether it be their own show or they were on the lineup at a music festival. But I've not really been to any really, really huge music festivals like EDC Las Vegas or Ultra Miami or Tomorrowland or Creamfields, anything in Europe like that. But I've done a ton of smaller and medium-sized festivals around the States. The first one I ever went to was called Sunset Music Festival in Tampa Bay. I've been to that 4 times. I've also been to one called Shaky Beats in Atlanta. And then our kind of local festival, it's not really local, but it's in Baltimore, which is about a 3.5-hour drive. It's called Moonrise. I've done that festival for 3 years. And then 4 years ago, they started a festival called Lost Lands, which is an hour and a half away from me in Ohio. And it's all bass music, and it's strictly prehistoric dinosaur themed. So, I mean, there's legit life-size huge dinosaur all over the festival grounds. I mean, you're camping for 5 days. You're surrounded by 30,000 people, all with the same mindset as you. And it's a lot of heavy music, but it's just a whole vibe, and it's a really, really fun time. And it's become my, favorite festival that I've been to and that I go to. And we're actually getting ready to go to it here this year. At the end of this month. So the end of September, I'll be attending Lost Lands for the 4th time. And this is the 4th year they've had it. Last year, everything got canceled, obviously. So we just transferred everything over to this year. So I'm super excited for that. And then in November, I'm going to EDC Orlando, which EDC is obviously one of the really, really big ones. Orlando is their smaller sort of installment of it, but it's still pretty big. So we're excited to be going to that as well. And the cool thing about that festival is not only do we have the 3-day festival, but where we're staying on a resort hotel, and it's actually called Home Base. So it's a whole nother festival in itself where we're staying. So we're at an all-inclusive resort that'll have daytime pool parties all day long, and then nighttime after parties all night long as well. So we'll be going to, the pool, hanging out for a pre-party, then going to the festival all day, then coming home or coming back and doing the after parties and, be up till God knows what hour every day, having a blast and partying. So we're looking forward to that one as well. I mean, we're really looking forward to everything this year because last year really was tough and was a drag. And, you have tickets for so many concerts. You have tickets for festivals. You have all these plans. And then everyone, one by one, they start canceling, postponing, COVID and coronavirus, they were a motherfucker, man. And it was discouraging to see just what happened in that whole scene. And luckily, those musicians and producers, they rely on that every year, those festivals and those shows, for them to be able to do what they do and to be able to grow their fan base. So I felt for them, man. I felt for people in a lot of areas. But to not be able to go out and express your art and do the show that you've planned for your fans for years or however long it may be, that had to be really tough on a lot of musicians. And luckily, Twitch was there for these musicians to be able to, do live DJ sets or live production workshops or live, music of any kind, and get it out to their fans. And, when lockdown first started here, that's a lot of what Ashley and I were doing. We were just putting Twitch up on my big screen TV downstairs and, turning the lights off and putting some, smaller lights on and having some drinks and just pretending we were at, a concert, and we didn't have all of our friends there. We didn't have the rest of the crowd there. We didn't have the big stage and the lights, but, we had the musician and their music, which is, kind of what we, love anyways. So we were both happy to see that Twitch was able to be utilized to help those musicians and producers kind of keep things going and keep the interest alive with their fans and show their fans that they cared about getting that music out to them and those performances out to them. And it was a lot of, we made a lot of fun out of it, to be honest.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you that musicians have been hit as hard, like or hardest in COVID, because like my dad is a musician and he hasn't had a gig in 2 years. Like it's been tough. Like but obviously like he does it for the fun, not for the money. But you know how many people, especially like full-time musicians, how many people aren't going to make any money because of it? Like, you know what I mean?
CDs is funny. That's funny what he said, because that's kind of what it turned into.
Yeah, and then Loki wants you to take your pants off.
Hey, what's up, Luke?
Oh, he's a good dude. For me, like with gigs and stuff, I had a heap of gigs. Like for me, I do love the EDM and the house music and all that kind of stuff. Like I love listening to it. Don't get me wrong, but for me, like heavy metal is my passion. Like I love heavy metal so much. Like it's literally gotten me through like so many things in life, and like, I'm such a massive fan of so many heavy metal bands. And like I had, like you said before, tickets upon tickets upon tickets just stacked up over on the kitchen, and I literally couldn't go to any of them. They were all cancelled, because you know what it is. Australia is the furthest place away from every other band I watch. So like if they can't play in their own country, imagine them trying to travel to another one. You know how much money it costs to move an entire production to another country? They don't make a lot of money coming here, and the gigs that we get here are really like, they're rare. They're not always like coming here. So a lot of bands don't even come here at all because it's too expensive. So for them to all cancel, it's kind of like, oh, we're never going to see them again. Like, you know what I mean? Like we had Metallica coming here. That was going to be their final tour. Do you know what I mean? Like, and they were gonna come here, and they were gonna end the tour here. I'm pretty sure they said, and I had tickets and everything. I had fucking gold front mosh pit tickets. Like I was, they cost like $1,000. Like I was gonna go. I was gonna be like right at the front, fucking, kissing the feet of Kirk Hammett. But unfortunately, they cancelled, and we'll never see them again. Like it's. The last time I saw them was 2010, like that was the last time they came to this country. So they're not coming back.
Right. They're not.
Yeah. And then like other bands, like my favorite band, Parkway Drive, is an Australian band, and that was going to be their first stadium tour of Australia. So they've done plenty of big festivals and they've done stuff. They've never done a stadium tour. This is their year to do stadium tours all over the world. Right. And they were going to do a stadium tour in Australia to start their tour. And then they cancelled that. So it's like, and that's my favorite band ever. Like I've seen them like 20 times. Like I used to follow them along the East Coast. I used to go from Brisbane all the way down to Melbourne, and see like 10 shows in one tour. Like I was just like obsessed. Like I would drive with the tour bus. Like I was.
No, that had to be fun though. I mean, just bouncing around all those different stops and seeing,
And the crazy part about how small the world is like we used to go to their tours when they were like tiny. Like when they started playing in school halls, we were at their tours. When they started playing in community centers, we were in their tour. Like in 2006 or something. Like I wasn't even 18 yet. I was like 17. I was just like the biggest fan. And then like after all that, it was crazy. Chat's got to fucking calm down, all right? I'll see what you guys are doing. Oh, I love you guys. But what I was, yeah, it was just one of those things that I love to do, and yeah, I'm kind of devastated I couldn't see them again, but they'll be back, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, it's been nice. I've been to a couple, shows down in DC in the past 3 weeks. So it's been nice to kind of get back into it and remember what it was like, over a year and a half ago, and just makes you grateful as well that to not take those things for granted. Because like last year, I mean, everything was taken away, and never once did I think that everything was going to just start getting canceled and be taken away from us. It's just crazy to me
yeah, it's horrible.
And what you're going through. I mean, I feel for you for sure.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to end eventually, but it's and everything, and like people are just going to be patient. I mean, but the problem is not everyone has the privilege of being patient, because a lot of people, they need to get back to work now. Like they need to be able to pay their bills now. Like they can't just sit at home like a lot of us can, and because some of us we have money, we're fine to just sit at home and wait it out. A lot of people in certain areas where I live, they're in that position. They can sit at home, they can wait, they can do whatever they like it's fine. But there's also a lot of people that, like, in different outskirts of the city and stuff, that they don't have that option. Like they're gonna starve if they don't fucking
No.
If they don't pull us out of this bullshit. Like there's no way. Like they can't support their families. I'm lucky. I don't have a family support.
Right.
So for me, it's just like I'm just a single dude with a cat. Like I just gotta pay my rent. Just gotta pay my rent and eat my food. Like I'm pretty much like self-sufficient. But I couldn't even imagine if I had a child or if I had a wife to take care of or whatever, I'd be fucking stressing.
Yeah, I mean, luckily, my work didn't change. You know what I mean? What changed was for my clients, and some of them stayed in business, some of them were essential, some of them were not, and losing the income that some of them lost during that time frame was devastating for some of them. I mean, some of these people, in particular businesses, just, I mean, like a lawn and garden retail center, for instance, they're getting a lot of their business in the springtime, right? Leading up to summer, people getting ready for their gardens and for planting vegetables and whatever. That March, April, May is a huge 3-month time frame for them as far as revenue. And for them to have been shut down and,
Oh, we've lost him.
Oh. Yeah, sorry, I had a call came through, a FaceTime came through on my iPad.
No, you're all good.
It's about that time where my phone will start ringing like crazy. So let me fix this thing.
No, you're all good. You're all good. I think Leaky really just wants to fuck you. I gotta be honest. Like, I think he's pretty keen.
Yes, I he's been cracking me up. That's why I keep cracking these smiles.
I know. I can see it. I can read it. I get better and better at ignoring it.
But yeah, we love Luke. Love Luke. Thanks, Luke.
Yeah. Oh, Michaela, Michaela's keen too, and Crackpot, I'm sure.
Oh my.
The gas.
Take it easy.
I love it. No, I love it. This is why the thing about my chat is that it's like this, and that's what I love about it, because everyone can just say and do whatever they like. Like for me, I literally do not care what you guys say and do, as long as you don't piss anyone else off in the chat. That's all I care about. Like I literally, all I want is everyone to like talk and have a laugh with everyone, and as long as I don't call anyone out, single anyone out or abuse anyone, I'm more than happy for you guys to talk about that kind of stuff all day, every day. It makes me laugh. It makes me happy. Like, my sense of humor, I'm a sick weirdo. I love all of it. Like, I can't help it. Like, and this is why this is why Lukey and I are friends as well, because like his chat and my chat, like we know I know him IRL because we used to go to school together. So like that shit just gets wild. Like
Oh my. No, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be able to just kind of be yourself and just kind of say ridiculous stuff and, troll a little bit. It definitely, entertains me and is funny to me, and I love it.
I love it too. Michaela's going to bed, so good night, Michaela. I hope you have a great time.
Very much.
And don't dream about us too much. It's I know it'd be tough, but I mean, you got to get some sleep, right? I love it. I love it so much. Oh, dude. I honestly I've been looking forward to this chat for 2 weeks. Like ever since we just planned it, we sort of talked about it a little bit. I've really been looking forward to it.
I mean, I have too. I think we've actually been trying to do this since you originally decided to start kind of doing the podcast. Because I remember one day just telling you, oh, you ought to just, have people on and chat with them and this and that. And then I think I wasn't able to that weekend. And I know, what was it, 2 weekends ago for the 24-hour, we tried to get me on, but it just didn't work out. And I just figured today would probably be the best day to do it. And I'm really happy that we're able to do this and finally look each other in the face and have a conversation. And the next step's just to do it in real life. You know what I mean?
100%. We've always had that joke that you, me, Rav, Darwaz, and the boys will all just meet up in some random place and just get absolutely blazed and see who fucking gets arrested first. I love that.
Some random city and who knows where, paint the town red. Like you said, whoever goes to jail last is the loser.
I honestly can't think of anything better. I dream about it. One day it'll happen, and it'll be the best weekend ever.
100%. They wouldn't be ready for us. That's for sure.
No, I mean, and some of them are. Look, I know that you know me pretty well, from watching and stuff. I'm sure, I don't mind getting a little bit fucked up. Let's be honest.
Neither do I.
So it could be pretty fucking messy.
Yeah, trying new things and different ways to fuck me up. Whatever it is, I can probably manage it. So
yeah, exactly. I love that. So Koshi wants to know if you're going to run for president. And Moon is promoting it.
Running for president? No, I'd have no. I'm not a front man like that. You know what I mean? I don't like too much attention. So I don't think that would work for me too well.
I think you'd be more of a chief of staff sort of situation.
Yeah, a guy in the background, influencing decisions. Not out in front of the public. That's kind of more so. I'm kind of more low key.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Speaking of politics, I mean, obviously politics is a very, in-depth discussion, and we won't get into it too much. But with politics in your country, how do you see the country right now? I know it's tough. From looking from the outside in, it looks worse than it probably is because of what media say and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, what is it like where you are?
I mean, in Pittsburgh, it's not too bad with politics. I mean, we're a Democratic state. Pittsburgh's Allegheny County, where I live, is a Democratic county. I personally am Republican and vote Republican. But it's just kind of crazy. It's kind of too much to even think about and talk about because with social media and everyone voicing their opinions and everyone talking about how they feel about this, that, and the other thing. Right now, the big issue is everything that's going on in Afghanistan and leaving, some of our people behind and leaving a lot of our allies to deal with, Taliban invasion and takeover. There's a lot of heat on our president. It's just 1 minute it's one thing, 1 minute it's the next. And the people that were, voicing their opinions at election time and had all these things to say don't have all those things to say now for, likewise circumstances. And it's just, it's a lot and it's really just a pain. And it's something I try to not involve myself in too much. I try to do my civic duty as much as I can with voting and being informed of who I want to vote for and why I want to vote for that person. But other than that, I stay out of it. I try to not watch too much of what's going on in politics, because in the U.S. you have these news channels that are reporting from a Democratic point of view, and then you have these news channels that are reporting from a Republican point of view, and it's all skewed and it's all conflicting information. So I really just try my best to
Yeah, I understand that.
But because what really am I? Is me paying that much attention to it and stressing myself out about it going to do? Because I'm not going to be able to change what they're doing, other than doing what I can to vote for whom I think, in my opinion, is the right candidate to run that particular arm of whatever government.
Yeah, that's a great answer. And that's what the answer I figured you would have. Because honestly, like, politics in Australia is pretty standard. Like, it's nothing too much to talk about. Like, you know, you just vote for the guy who's going to do a good job. If he doesn't do a good job, you get rid of him, get the next guy. Like, when it comes to politics here, obviously, with us not being a republic, we're in a sort of like a top-down monarchy sort of situation. Like, it's a little bit different. Like, you know,
right.
we vote in a party rather than a president. And then the minister who is the highest minister in that party is the person who leads that party, and they call them the prime minister. Like, it's just, that's how it works. But it's not like we vote for the prime minister. We vote for the party the prime minister represents. So it's a little bit different. Right. Whereas like over there, the presidential race is really massive. You know, like it's president, president. Like, you know, I get. I mean,
all the presidential race is over here is one person telling the public that why this person isn't any good. And then this person,
exactly.
You know what I mean? It's no setting examples. It's no what can I do better. And then anything they do say that they're going to change and make better, they usually don't come through with it. And that's why we, you know, change leadership, you know, every 4 years. And
I get it.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Look, well, I just wanted to touch on it a little bit. Nothing major, but the other thing I wanted to go back to, being it is your birthday, I would like you to tell us what is your favorite birthday memory, and what is the thing that sticks with you the most, and what would you like to happen in future birthdays? What is the future Bob want in his birthday? What makes you happy?
One of my most memorable birthdays. It's not a great memory, but and it's why I do not drink tequila. So
here we go.
It was my 20th birthday. I was a sophomore in college. I lived off campus. You know, we had a little party at the house. You know, everyone was tuned up. And there was a bottle of tequila going around, and it was a bottle of tequila that, you know, a lot of them don't have the worm in them anymore. So this was a bottle of mezcal, just cheap tequila that had, you know, the little worm in it. And the last thing I remember about the night is taking the last swig of the tequila and everyone, you know, on me about eating the worm. And apparently I ate it. Well, I woke up on my back porch, laying shirtless on the ground of the porch. And when I opened my eyes up, the first thing that I saw was that fucking worm just sitting in a pile of vomit. And that's what I opened my eyes up to. And that sticks with me so much because I will not touch tequila to this day because of that experience.
That's so good. Oh my god! And that's the crazy part about it, right? Is that everyone has a tequila story. I don't know why that is, but everyone has a tequila story, and everyone has an experience that literally they just like, you know what? And that's the last time I drank tequila. Every single one.
Right. My the most fun birthday for me, when I was 38 2 years ago. We went to Vegas for the whole weekend. There was 16 of us. We had the absolute best weekend. We had, you know, a cabana at Encore Beach Club during the day. The one day we had, you know, a table at Hakkasan nightclub the Saturday night. We saw DJ Snake. We saw Tiesto. We just, we had such an amazing trip. and probably will never, get to experience Vegas to that degree because we had a large group of people. We were able to get, the tables and the cabanas and spend a little bit of extra money. And yeah, it definitely was the most fun birthday weekend I've had in memory for sure. I'm not a huge birthday person or celebrating my birthday for that matter. Ashley's bugged me for months. Like, what do you want to do on the Saturday after your birthday? What do you want to do? I was like, I don't really want to do anything. Like, I want to hang out with you. I want to see some of our friends. I maybe want to play some video games in the day. I want to go out to dinner, but like, I don't want to do anything, big and crazy and make a big scene of it. Cause,
Yeah, I totally get that.
I totally, you know what I mean? Like if I were to have a surprise party for me or something like that, I would probably be like, oh man, like I got to go through all this,
Yeah, like please don't.
It's simple, do what I want to do at the time, and that's it. Honestly, I want to go to the casino, watch some football, do some gambling, drink some beers,
Yeah,
have some with my mates, and that's really it. And that keeps me happy, man.
I totally get that. Like one of my favorite things to do, like in Australia, we have our sort of like our Super Bowl or our grand final for the rugby is on the same weekend that my birthday is usually on, like within the same week, right? And then one week, or a couple of weeks, like in a couple of years, it was on the day of my birthday, like grand final day. So I planned my birthday. I said every single person come down, we'll meet at the pub, right? I said I had tables and everything like booked. I had a whole section of the pub cut off. And I said I sent every single person who I wanted to be there a message. I said everyone meet me there. We're gonna start drinking at like 11 a.m. and see what happens. And like every single year I've done that has been the most fun I've ever had. Like because I'm doing all the things I love. Like I get to see all my friends. I get to drink beer and I get to watch football. Like what else could I want?
No, I agree. That's what I like too. You know what I mean? I just don't want a lot of attention on me. I don't want a huge party where everyone's making a big scene about it being my birthday. I just want to have some fun doing the things that I love to do with the people that I like being around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I get that. And you say you gamble and stuff. Do you is it mostly sports betting or you play poker and stuff like that, or?
Originally, so all through college, I used to play poker, and we would play poker in our dorm rooms. And I started playing in this backroom poker game at this Italian restaurant near where I went to school, and I just fell in love with poker. And then we got casinos here in Pennsylvania, and I think it was around 2008. And at the time, they were slots only. So we were told, they're going to be slots only for a year or two and blah, blah, blah. And then they're going to have poker and all the other stuff. I could not wait for the poker rooms to open up and just to be able to go and play in an actual casino. Because at that time, I'd never been to Vegas or anything like that.
Yeah.
I started just playing poker. And a friend of mine was a craps dealer at the other casino in Pittsburgh, and on his day off, I was just spending it with him. We would go into the other casino because he couldn't gamble with the one he worked at. He'd have to go to the other one, and he taught me how to play craps, and I just fell in love with it. And so I do like poker still a lot. I more so enjoy playing craps. I do play blackjack every once in a while. I will, bet on sports and throw in some parlays and see what we can get going. But I've had some success. I mean, I'm certainly not like down a lot, you know what I mean? I'd say I'm pretty even, but I've been able to have fun with it and not, lose a bunch of money and be responsible about it. But yeah, that's kind of how I like to approach it and what I like about it.
Yeah. I've always been a massive poker fan. Like I've played in a lot of big tournaments in Sydney and
right.
And like, as many different things as I can play. Like I've had like championships and stuff like that, like minor stuff. But like, I think like, when it comes to prize money, I've definitely won a fair bit. Like when it comes to poker, I love poker, dude. I think it's one of my favorite things to do. One of my favorite things to do. But obviously, again, I can't play it right now. But I'd love to, go back to the casino and play and enjoy it.
Are you guys able to play online there?
No, we don't have any gambling websites online. So I used to play fulltilt.com. So I used to play at fulltilt.com via the American servers. But the Australian government decided to step in and cancel that. So I tried to get around it. I tried to get around it for a couple of years with VPNs and bits and pieces like that, but it's illegal. So
Right.
you're not supposed to do that.
It was pretty. I mean, like Wild West here for a while with it. You know, when it first started, I'd say 15, 18 years ago, and then it kind of all went away, and they, like no online gambling in PA, whatever. And then the casinos started coming, and then they started doing the online sports books, and then now we're able to play through Poker Stars.
Yeah.
Some of the casinos on their online platforms, they have little, poker rooms or whatever. But I mean, Poker Stars, you can go in full-fledged, play in, multiple different types of tournaments, multiple levels of cash games and things like that. So every once in a while I'll pop on there. I'm just not a huge lover of online poker. I just don't like I like the realness of sitting at a table and having the cards and the chips. And,
Of course.
obviously I trust the dealer that I'm watching shuffle and all that, and online, you know what I mean? It's just like, how do you really feel comfortable?
You don't. It's a bit dodgy.
Especially from the type of money that I like to play with. I mean, if I'm going to go play, 1 cent, 2 cent cash game on Poker Stars, that's one thing. But that doesn't do it for me. You know what I mean? I like a little bit higher stakes.
Yeah, I get that totally. Like we used to have a weekly poker game here because I had a full length poker table at my old house. Like we had a 2,500, 3,000 piece chip set. We'd have cards. We'd have someone. We'd even rent a dealer sometimes just for the guys for the weekend. The dealer would come in and always be like a really hot chick too, because it had to be, right. So they come in and they deal the cards for us for like 8 hours or whatever. We play cash game, and then we'd have some beers and have a a barbecue out the back or whatever we might do. Like, it's fun, it's a good way to bond with people. It's a good game, and we all love playing. So and so why not throwing around tens of thousands of dollars? Like, we're just playing. I think the max we used to buy in was like $1,000. Like, we have such a good time doing it, and it wouldn't matter at the end of the day. Like, we'd play 8 hours solid straight, right? And everyone would be really conservative. We'd be playing like proper. We'd be trying to gauge each other. We'd play like no limit, right? So it was just one of those things where we just like pushed it to each other and have a bit of fun with it. But the last 5 hands was always the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen. Like, it'd be like raise, all in, because we just wanted to see what would happen. Like, so no matter how much money you make during the day, the person at the end of the day is always the winner on the 5 hands at the end. It was really funny.
Right. Yeah, it's funny. It's one of those things too that like my close friends and I, we always talk about doing. Like, hey man, like why don't we get a poker night? Like the last time we did it 3 years ago, we had such a great time. It was a great night. I swear we must mention it once a month that we're going to try to do it, but then we never end up getting it put together, but when we do, it's always a blast for 100%.
Sure. And I reckon like, even like, if we could organize something, through Discord, maybe we could organize all the guys or all the girls or whoever wants to play. We could maybe organize some like online game we could play together. Like when it comes to poker, I mean, it'd be very difficult to do, I think, but
there is a poker room app of some sort. I'll have to check into it more, where you can kind of set up like a little private tournament, and multiple people can join on the app via the app or whatever, and then you just play right in their room. Now, obviously, you don't put the money into it. We'd have to like Venmo or Cash App or pay one another or whatever. But I think there is a way to set it up to where you can get a group of people into a certain application or website or whatever and physically play a private game.
Yeah, CDs is just saying it's called Tabletop Simulator.
Okay.
So I think there'd be a way. I think that'd be a cool thing to do. Like, I don't know whether we could stream it. I don't know whether that's something you could do, but I'm sure we could play it.
You can stream it as long as it's not showing that real money is being exchanged in any way. Like, we wouldn't be able to like talk about prize winnings or money or what we paid to buy in, but I'm pretty positive you'd be able to stream it.
You could discuss it prior and just have a bit of fun with it.
us on that. But yeah, that would be fun for sure. You know what I mean? 'Cause 10 of us sitting around a virtual poker table and having it on stream.
Yeah, the problem is for me is if I was to stream it, I would have to like hide my cards.
Oh yeah.
And then delay it by 10 minutes.
Kind of overlay and then like do a screen delay. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, but we'd figure it out. It'd be fun.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Dude, we've been talking for an hour and 40 minutes.
I know. 5 minutes ago, I was like, how long have we been doing this? I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, that's what I love about podcasting though. Like you can literally talk to someone for 3 hours straight, you wouldn't even know. Like, especially if you're having a good conversation like we are today. And that's what I love about it. We will finish up though, because like with the YouTube and stuff, I feel like an hour and a half is plenty. And dude, all I wanted to say really from like the bottom of my heart, like everything you do, like in the channels that you're in, whether it be Rav's channel, my channel, JT's channel, or whoever, you're such a good support to all of us. And I really appreciate you being part of this community, just because like the same reason you're a moderator, like I know it was a random thing to give it to you on that day. And but you've literally like just helped me so much, and I really appreciate everything you do for us, dude. Like it's just so nice to have that person in the chat that you can always like rely on for something. And like it just goes to show like the person that we know Bob to be is the person you are showing us now. Like, you know, it's you know how a lot of people like they fake things and stuff like that. You're not fake, bro. You're just like you know, and that's what I love about it. And I think that's what Rav loves about it too. Like, you know, you're always the friendly face he needs when he's not feeling great and stuff like that. And you know, I just want to say thank you, dude. Like, just for doing everything you do for us.
Well, you're welcome, man. I appreciate you saying all that, and I thank you as well. You know, I've just been I've been proud to you know, be one of your mods and be there to represent you for, you know, against the rest of chat and whomever. And I'm super proud to have gotten to know you and to be able to call you a friend. You know, it means the world to me to help support you guys and to be an example for, you know, other people in the community, to maybe get them to want to help support and, you know, do what they can, you know, to make those communities better. And, you know, it's like I said earlier, it's like if you have your favorite athlete, or you have your favorite musician, or you have your favorite actor, you know, you want to see those people do what they do, and you know, you pay money to see them play in that game, or you pay money to get their jersey, or you pay money to get their album, or you pay money, you know, to watch their play or their movie. And this is what I like here, and I like your community, and I like Rav's community, and I like JT's community, and I like so many others' communities, and I want to support in, you know, whatever way I can, and whether that's being a mod or gifting people some subs or throwing some bits. I mean, the way I look at it is that that money is going to get spent doing something I support no matter what. So why not it be that really makes me happy, really, you know, that I really enjoy, you know, passing along and seeing, you know, the reaction that it creates from not only the streamer, but, you know, the rest of the community. And, you know, if I can start a hype train for my boys every day, I'm going to do it.
I totally get that. And you know what, like, and the way you say that, I appreciate it, and I reflect that so much, because like that's how I feel too. Like every time I go into someone's chat, I'm like trying to resubscribe or throw subs to someone, or just give someone some love, because you know what, that little like gesture might change their day, might change their week, might change whatever it might be. Like, and that's the reason this community is created in the first place, and that's the reason there's so many people that keep coming back to this channel, is because every single one of them see that in people like you, in people like Luke, in people like Ryan, in people like everyone in chat, and everybody. And we all support each other just as much as we support like anyone else. Like, and that's what I love, and that's why I continue to do Twitch every single day. It puts a smile on my fucking face, and I love it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, anyone's name that we could, you know, mention off the top of our heads, or, you know, are the people that feel the same way and that matter, and that are the reason why, you know, I like being a part of the community. You like making the community and streaming. anyone we can name off the top of our head is going to fall into that category of what I'm kind of trying to express. So means a lot, and love chat. You guys are great. Love interacting with all you guys every day. And Adzi, thank you, man, for just streaming every day, putting yourself out there. You don't hold anything back. You're totally 100% real, and it just brings your stream to life and your community to life, and that's all you, man.
Yeah. I don't want to ever hide anything. I just want to be me, and that's what I love doing, and that's what makes me happy. And so, and I just thank you for the kind words. But again, dude, happy fucking birthday, bro. Happy fucking. How does it feel to be 40, baby?
It feels no different. I don't see 40 when I look in the mirror, and I always joke with my friends because a lot of my friends are younger, and they're like, man, you don't look your age. They're like, are you some kind of alien? So like we always joke I'm an alien, and I'm actually not. I wasn't born. I was grown in a lab, and it's an ongoing running joke, and my phone's blowing up with texts and Snapchats from everybody. So I'm sure I'm gonna get feeling good here over all the love I'm gonna get today. Got a great group of people around me. I got a great dad. I got a great group of close friends, and obviously I got an amazing girlfriend who takes care of me and this house and our dog, and goes and saves lives every single day. And I wouldn't be anything without her, and what she provides, and I wouldn't be able to do what I do, and certainly wouldn't be who I am. So yeah, I appreciate the kind words and all the happy birthdays from everybody. Much love.
Yeah, you gotta have that partner in crime, like that team, and you've got it solid, dude.
Yeah, it is, man. It is a team, and that's how we refer to ourselves. And we have the best time, and she's just an amazing support for my job and what I like to do in my personal life and everything. So definitely got to throw her some love.
Awesome. All right, well, dude, it's been a pleasure. I'm sure I'll see you in chat. And thank you for being you, and thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
And thank you for having me on, and thank you as well for being you. And I appreciate all the gas, man. I will definitely be in chat and hanging out.
Awesome, dude. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. Later, everyone. Love you.
Much love. Hell yeah. What a guy. Let's go, chat.